What's shaking? Y'all know I'm baking. This is Calzax back on the mic, and today we have episode 9 of our Escape from Tarkov focused Calzax Gaming podcast. It is so great to be back. Let's get right into the news. So first off, I just want to update you guys. I am sorry it's been so long since we put one of these out. It's been about 5 months running since our last one. And there's a lot to talk about in terms of both Escape from Tarkov and our channel. And so we're going to dive into quite a bit today. It's going to be a shorter podcast for today. It's just me hanging out with you guys, updating. I'd love to get it back to where we were and get back on track with it. Life has been busy. If you guys saw our thank you for 1,000 subscribers special episode, we kind of go into the details of that. I talk about a lot of what's going on with the channel in that episode, so please go watch it to get updated. I won't dive into too much of it just because I already have in that episode. But basically, life has just been busy with work. Kind of took some time off of Tarkov just to get the mind right and stuff like that. And now I'm back. I'm back at it. Would love to get back into doing these. Hopefully bi-weekly would be the best. But it may be monthly or something like that, you know, as we go and get back into getting some guests on here. Just really hit it hard. We've been putting out a lot of content lately. Our pilots have been very active. So it's just a great time for the channel, and it really, really feels good to be back. I love doing these podcasts, as I say, and I'll talk a little bit more probably about the channel stuff at the end because I know you guys are here for the Escape from Tarkov content. That's what we want to talk about primarily. So let's go ahead and dive right into that and then talk a little bit more at the end about just the future and stuff like that. So right now, for Escape from Tarkov, what's going on? This is patch 12.12. It's been about a week as of the time of this filming, like literally a week since the game patched, pretty much today. And what a patch it's been. What a patch it's been. Overall, really great reception from the community on this patch. And I'm feeling the same way, to be honest with you about that. I love this wipe. It's probably my favorite wipe I've been a part of so far, which is saying a lot. I've been a part of several wipes. I haven't been there since Alpha or anything like that, but this is probably my 5th or 6th wipe, something like that. Been playing the game for about a little over, well, maybe like about 2 years, somewhere about 2 years now. So, great wipe. There's a lot to dive into. And so let's get straight into it. The first one of the big changes that they added, which I think is probably the most outstanding change in the game, is Inertia. Inertia has been a big change for the game. It's causing a lot of the skilled and higher level long-time players to have to kind of relearn how to fight the PvP in some way because they're used to the jiggle peeking, stuff like that. Not that it's going to throw off your gunplay or anything like that. It's just mostly the movement is different, so people are kind of having to relearn it. I'm sure we'll figure out the metas in time here. But overall, it is great in my opinion. It does need some work. That goes without saying. Like, it's got to be adjusted and updated and stuff like that. But I think this fits the vision for the game a lot better. Just due to the fact that you can lose so much of your gear. This is not Call of Duty where you get everything right back. You lose all your stuff. You lose all your money. So the game has to be a bit slower paced than something like Call of Duty, which it almost was not before the Inertia stuff. So I think that's why it was a great addition. It makes it better for the entire player base. While I think, those higher level players, certain ones, maybe, your labs mains, stuff like that, are not so much a fan of it. Those are the top tier players of the game, and they do obviously have a really important voice in this game because they played a lot of time into it. But this just opens the door for a lot of new players to come into the game and not get so frustrated and have a little bit more success. Just because they can play a bit more tactically and get away with that versus, relying on their tactics and then getting beat by somebody who knows the movement really, really, really well. I think it just, again, opens the doors to the entire player base a bit better, which I think is an improvement. It's a little bit too skatey as you move from side to side. It almost feels like you're sliding around sometimes. But again, needs some work, but in my opinion, overall, a great improvement. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree. I'd love to hear it. I know we're really mixed opinions on this, so I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of both. Just know this is a discussion. I can only speak for my own opinions. I'm not giving an objective answer here. I just want you to know how I feel about it. I totally understand if you guys don't like it, but I totally understand if you do like it as well. Moving into some other stuff, the new grenade throwing mechanics are interesting. I think it's pretty nice because it does stop that grenade spamming. You've got to press G or whatever it's bound to on your system, and you'll pull out a random grenade now from your pockets or your rig, and you have to take it and either throw it or roll it. With the left click is going to be a throw, the right click is going to be an underhand toss, and it gives you a little bit more control over how you're throwing it, which is nice, but it also just stops people from spamming grenades. You can still take them out and stuff like that, but it's going to take you time. It's a bit more dangerous to pull out. I do like it. It's a bit more realistic, and it kind of alongside something like Squad or something like that. So you can't just press G and then your guy will instantly throw one. You got to take it out, toss it yourself. And it's a pretty big change because that's going to matter a lot in the higher level PvP, especially as this wipe goes on. The scav AI is actually a little bit different, and I haven't seen a lot about this, honestly. I just kind of noticed it. They go to new places, so if you're seeing scavs in new areas, that's probably why they've been updated. They also seem to loot things, and their loot has been updated in terms of what they can have. There seems to be a lot of them, especially on maps like Customs, to be honest with you. So just be aware, that it has changed a little bit. And there's been a lot of flea market changes as well. There are no labs cards allowed on the flea market, which, first off, is what I wanted to talk about. I mean, that is a massive change. No longer can you go to the flea market and purchase labs cards. Despite how expensive they were, that opened the availability of them to everybody. Now you've got to find them, or you've got to get your therapist leveled up. I think, who is it, Mechanic or somebody that has also a barter for it later. So you're going to have to rely on those and probably stockpile the labs keys. Are they going to go out of stock? Things like that. We'll find out. But that's a big change. How much of a detriment is this going to be to labs mains? I just hope, I really actually do like this change, as long as they increase the stock of the labs cards in general, because I just don't think there's enough. And if you're a labs main, who wants to just sit there and have to stockpile cards when you're not playing the game, or just get stopped from playing it, despite having all the money in the world, just having to wait on stocks and stuff like that. And we will be talking more about stock in just a minute, because I think that's something I'd love to talk about. But let's stick to the flea market changes for just a moment. There's also no top-tier armor, guns, ammo, or even things like impact grenades on the flea market anymore. They've removed those. That's also a big change, big change. So you're not going to be able to get, basically the new scars off of there. M995, M61, those top ammos, stuff like that. So that means that top-level traders are now extremely important. And some things you just have to find in raid nowadays, like probably the MK18 or something like that. You probably just got to find that in raid. Possibly the impact grenades. I'm not aware of a barter or a trade for impact grenades. There could be one that I just haven't got to yet, but we'll find out. But that just makes getting your traders all the way up extremely important, because even if a trader has a barter later on, you can still buy the hideout barter items to trade for these things and still get easy access to gear that non-flea market players will not have access to nowadays without picking it up in raid. So big change. Really prioritizes leveling up and leveling up your guy, doing tasks, leveling up your traders. Those players that do that are going to be rewarded a lot more now than players who just used to hit level 10. Now it's level 15 for the flea market, but it's going to be rewarded a lot more for doing their tasks and playing the game like that. The next thing I want to jump into, and this is a discussion type thing. I'd love to hear you guys chime in from the comments. Is global stock really a good thing? This is just something that frustrates me in Escape from Tarkov personally. Not really something that's new this wipe. There's just been problems with it. Like, they changed the Intelligence Center level 1 to require a factory map in order to build it. And there was also a stock limit on it, basically, so you could not buy it from therapists. I think they've since fixed it. It was a big problem. Basically, therapists would just have no stock on the factory map, which I don't know how the hell else to get a factory map besides buying it from therapists. So I just had to wait for a couple days. Even upon a restock, it would not come back into stock. That was just really annoying. It seems to have been fixed. I was able to buy one, so thank God. But in general, that's what made me really just consider this, is like, is global stock really a good thing? In my opinion, it should be local stock. Like, let's say I go in and I buy 2 to 3 to 4 of an item, and it's a really good item. Limit me. That's totally fine. Stop me and say, hey, you got to wait till the next restock. You cannot buy any more. Why is there global stock, guys? Why is there global stock? It's so frustrating and annoying and not a good mechanic, in my opinion, because just because, Timmy over here buys something, from a trader, it's probably a good deal. Right? But that runs out of stock for everybody now. Why does Timmy buying something mean that I should not be able to? Because if it's running out of stock now, that means it's a good item or a good barter or something like that, something that I want to be able to take advantage of if I have the money and things like that, not have to wait for a restock where they're literally, it seems like a business-driven mechanic to me, where they decided, hey, what can we do to possibly drive our players back to the game as much as possible is to force them to come back at a restock and keep the game open at all times. When, that's just kind of frustrating, guys. And even I think even a local stock doing that would still, hit that business mechanic. So I don't even think it's necessary like that. Like if you're still liking a barter or a trade, you're going to buy it out and then wait for a restock, buy it out again. But at the current moment, if it's a good thing, something you need for a quest, something like that, everybody's buying it. It's just going to run out of stock, and you've got to wait. And if you don't buy it right when a restock happens, it's going to be out of stock again. And that just means that you can't run that item. And, I understand from the standpoint of not wanting everybody to be using the same thing. But, just increase the local stock at that point. Let somebody only buy one per restock or something like that, if that's what you want. Because just because everybody else is that just makes it so certain players that sit there and keep the game open are the only ones that are able to run certain items. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Is that really a good thing? So let me know in the comments if you guys disagree. Hopefully I kind of explained that well. We can kind of dive into it in another video or something like that. But I'd love to see your comments on it. I think local stock will be a lot better than global stock just because I think it's more fair and it doesn't require you to just have the game open at all times. And because that's just frustrating. We all have lives. It's kind of disrespectful to the player base at that point, right? So moving on, the SCAR is a lot of fun. The new SCAR, the SCAR H, the SCAR L. So you got your 762, your 308 one, and you've got your 556 one. And it's fun. It's expensive, but it's powerful. And the L variant is available at Peacekeeper Loyalty Level 2. Not available on the flea market. Kind of bringing it back to the COD days. They've got some kick. I haven't played around with being able to mod them out like crazy or anything yet, so I will keep you guys posted. But so far, I just wanted to let you guys know it's a lot of fun. Haven't been able to use it too much just due to the price and availability of it. I found some they seem to spawn in marked rooms all the time. I found about 4 of them in a marked room the first day of wipe. So, yeah, let me know if you guys are enjoying them. But the new map, Lighthouse. I recommend scavving to learn it, just because you don't want to go out there and die as a PMC, constantly lose your gear as you don't know the map. So go out there, scav, learn it, things like that. There are these new enemies called rogues, and they're absolutely kitted and ferocious. They are high risk, high reward. They travel in packs, and they get up on the machine guns and stuff like that. And they are actually friendly, quote-unquote, to USEC. Not bear, not scav. Those they will shoot on sight. But USEC players, they will at least give a warning to. And if you aggro them or get too close or anything like that, they will shoot at you and attempt to kill you. And that will carry over for actually a few raids after that, just so you know. But USECs do have an advantage against these rogues because they are USEC rogues. Apparently in the future, on like streets and stuff like that, there's supposed to be bear equivalents of these or something like that. So it'll kind of balance out. But right now being USEC is kind of an advantage on this map. In general, I think it's a very sniper-friendly map. There's a lot of like high hills and rocks and stuff like that you can get up into and hide and look down in the valleys on. So if you're in the valley, just beware. You will get your head taken off on this map. I imagine it'll be a good Shooter-Born in Heaven map later on. But right now, it's not very optimized, and you can tell it's just really sluggish, not getting very good frame rate on it. So I understand why they haven't put Shooter-Born in Heaven on or anything like that. But they do have 1 or 2 quests on there already where you got to go into the water treatment plant. We saw Reserve and stuff like that not be very optimized when it first came out, and it seems a lot better by now. So I anticipate they'll fix this. But definitely a sluggish map right now. They added new shotguns. There is a revolver shotgun and a double barrel. And here's the trick with these guys. You may take them and buy them and try them out or something like that, or get them on a scav and think, wow, this kind of sucks, or it's not that great. But you got to realize that you need to change the fire mode on them. So the revolver shotgun, you need to put that in double action mode instead of single action, and then that will make it so you don't have to cock it before every shot. It makes it into more like a semi-auto shotgun, and it makes the revolver shotgun actually a lot better and a good little cheap shotty to just run out and stuff like that. And then the double barrel, you can change the fire mode on it to shoot both barrels at once. So, it's kind of be like a cannon. You're only going to get one shot, and then you got to go rechamber it. But it shoots 2 bullets at once. So I haven't personally tested it yet, but I'm thinking maybe if you put some Magnum or even some AP-20s up in there and you shoot both at once, you might be able to really take people out pretty quick. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see. I do think that these new shotties are a lot of fun, in my opinion. Okay, this is to my knowledge. Apologies if I am wrong. Y'all let me know in the chat. But I believe leg meta has been nerfed. I believe players don't take quite as much damage across their body as before when you hit them in the legs. I think this is to kind of combat the KS-23 meta. We will find out as the KS-23 becomes more available. But I believe it has been nerfed. Let's keep an eye on that and probably talk more about it soon as the KS-23 becomes an actual item that people are running, or a gun. There are new items in the game. There's an injector's case. There's a key card case. There's med tools. Very, very interesting things. So the injector's case specifically, I think that's going to open the door to people being able to just run those propitols, green stems, morphines. Morphines are actually useful now because you can keep a bunch of them in this injector's case. And then it's like having ibuprofen or something, and they last a long time. And, you know, it just makes almost getting the Kappa not quite as important anymore because you can just keep these injectors in your injector case, in your container. And I'm enjoying it. People have said that probably people will use this as a meta to run like black keycard room in labs, and they probably will, and just toss them in the injector's case. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if that's kind of turning out to be a bad thing or if it's okay. But overall, I do like the idea of it. I've enjoyed using it. It's pretty expensive, so try to get your hands on one. The key card case is pretty handy for labs primarily as well. You can also find, like I found a black key card first day of wipe in one. So if you find one, they're pretty small items, so just make sure you open it. You never know what you might find inside. Med tools are necessary for things like the med station. They're really expensive right now. We'll see as they go throughout the wipe. They're like over 300,000 rubles right now. And you need 3 of them for your med station level 2, so I ended up paying for like $1 million for that thing. The ballistic changes are noticeable. You definitely don't need to zero near as much as you did before. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm sure I'll have more to say in time. But I've noticed even with certain guns that it really shoots high now. Like the Vepr Hunter for me using 308 just zeroed at 50. And even shooting at like 100 meters, it'll hit high sometimes. And iron sights on like the VSS, it's been hitting high about 50 to 100 meters-ish. So I'm still trying to figure it out. But they definitely don't seem to drop quite as much. You know, they still will. If you're shooting at that 150 zone, probably they're going to be dropping. So be aware. Try to run tracers to help yourself figure it out, chat. It's a little bit weird. But I do like them more, I think. It just travels a straighter path in general, which helps. It seems a bit more realistic. But again, I will probably try to be running tracers as much as possible early wipe so I can try to figure this out over time, especially while, you know, the tracers often aren't the meta ammo. So while they're still good enough to be viable, I'm going to definitely be running them to figure it out, and we'll keep you posted. You know, you run tracers, guys, let me know. The raid times are generally shorter. I think, for example, Reserve has been shortened to like 40 minutes. I think Interchange has been shortened down, possibly Customs. But player scavs are also spawning in earlier. Like on Interchange, I've seen them spawn basically at the same point as me. And about 36 minutes left in the raid, they're cruising around pretty commonly. So kind of interesting. A lot more player scavs out there earlier in the raids. I do think it's fine. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it, honestly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it's a fine change. But also, hideout items are selling for a lot on the Flea right now. Electric drills are up to about 180K right at this moment of this video. So make sure you're going out and finding those hideout items. You know, either put them into your hideout and spend the money, or go out and sell them. You know, if you're willing to wait on the hideout items, you can actually make a lot of money just selling them for now, and then waiting for the stock to build up on them and people not needing them as much, and then catch up on your hideout for a lot cheaper. It's your call. I'm personally building my hideout now just because I want it early, but I'm losing a lot of money as a result. So it's your call. Do what you want to do. And then those are most of the primary changes for 12.12. I'm sure I will notice more things as we reach our next episode, episode 10, to talk about with you guys. Hopefully we'll be getting some more guests here on the podcast as well in the future. But just as a whole, we're chugging along here as a channel. Bit by bit, we want to push for that, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. Just, work our way up and give you guys content that you can enjoy and is helpful, and and really grows the channel with every step of the way in terms of production quality, knowing who we are, things like that. But we do have our pilots. We've been putting out other content besides just Escape from Tarkov. We've been doing like Super Smash Bros. And stuff like that, and I think that's been received really well. So go out and enjoy that content. All of our stuff is here on YouTube now. It is not just spread out across like Twitch or anything. Everything's here on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and subscribed, you will get access to all of our content. No need to be anywhere else other than the Discord. The Discord is a great place. Link is in the description below. Join our Discord. It's a great community. We've got a lot of Escape from Tarkov players, a lot of Super Smash Bros. Players, all of the above. We'd love to have you in there. Come chat it up with us, ask us questions, hang out, play Tarkov with us, all of it. It's just a great place to be, and it'll keep you up to date with everything that we have going on. Guys, I want to get some Escape from Tarkov tournaments going as a part of our Discord and channel in the future, so stay tuned. Hopefully we can get some of that going. Just so much really going on for this channel, and I really appreciate anybody who's made it to this point and is watching this. Like, I really, really appreciate you. It means so much, and I hope that this content helps out and is enjoyable and things like that. And I really keep my eyes on the comments. So if you have feedback, please let me know. We try to learn and really grow from that, and we want to just be on the up and up for you guys. So that's all I have for now. I would love to see you out in the Discord. Drop a like, subscribe. I will catch you in the streams. Besides that, check out the stream highlights. We're doing more and more of those. And hopefully we'll catch you back here. We're going to try to do these live in the future as much as possible. This one is obviously not live, but I want to get, chat involved as much as possible. So that is the hope, that we'll get some more guests and things like that, but also keep you just up to date with what's going on in Escape from Tarkov. That is all I have for today, guys. I really appreciate your time. And we'll catch you in episode 10. Till then, best of luck to you.